Daniel, please! My children are outside! Please don't do this to me! Please!
When everybody abandoned James, one person helped him stand again. Sometimes, the people we call family destroy us the most.
Abuja was not an easy city to survive in. Every man was chasing something. Money, success, respect. That was where James met Daniel, a smooth-talking car dealer who seemed to know everybody in the business. Unlike the others shouting for attention, Daniel was calm. After days of searching, Daniel finally helped James get a clean car within his budget. And for the first time in a long while, James felt like life was finally moving forward. What started as customer and dealer slowly became friendship. And before long, friendship became brotherhood. Eventually, Daniel became close to James's family too. His wife respected him, and even the children knew him as Uncle Daniel. And slowly, life became better for James. Business improved, money entered, and for the first time, things finally felt stable. And for James, he was simply chasing his first car.
A year later, life became even better for James. Business was moving well. And naturally, he decided to buy another car. By now, James trusted Daniel completely. He no longer saw him as just a dealer. To James, Daniel was family. But only a few weeks later, problems started appearing. At first, James thought it was something minor. But the mechanic gave James news he never expected. The car had serious hidden problems. Problems that had clearly existed long before he bought it. To avoid spending more money, James sold the car quickly. But the loss was painful. Very painful. Daniel apologized repeatedly. He blamed the previous owner. And honestly, he sounded sincere. And because James trusted him, he forgave Daniel. After all, mistakes happen. Months later, James wanted another car again. And once more, he went back to Daniel.
One evening, Daniel told James about another car opportunity. He claimed the car was clean. A very good deal. And according to him, James could even make profit from it later. At that point, James no longer asked too many questions. If Daniel said the car was good, that was enough for him. At first, the issues looked small. The engine sound changed sometimes. The dashboard lights flickered occasionally, but James ignored it. When James mentioned the issues to Daniel, Daniel immediately calmed him down. He said it was normal. He said there was nothing to worry about. But a few days later, the problems became impossible to ignore. So James finally took the car to a mechanic.
The mechanic's expression changed almost immediately. And before James could even ask more questions, he already knew something was wrong. The car had serious hidden damage. Problems that clearly existed before James bought it.
and fixing everything would cost far more than he expected. The moment James heard the full problem, he immediately stopped the mechanic. He did not even want them to continue touching the car. Immediately, James called Daniel. He told him to come pick up the car because this time, the problem was too serious. When Daniel arrived, he checked the car quietly. And after a long discussion, he agreed to take the car back. But before Daniel left with the car, James asked for one thing: his money. Daniel promised to refund the money. He told James not to worry. He said he would sell the car quickly and sort everything out. Days turned into weeks, and weeks slowly became months. But the refund never came. Whenever James asked about his money, Daniel always had another explanation. Car business has been slow. Things are hard. SUVs usually move better during Christmas period. So James waited patiently for Christmas. He believed once business improved,
Daniel would finally pay him. But Christmas came, and still, there was another story. Customers kept coming to inspect the car, but nobody was buying. One day, James explained that things were becoming difficult. He needed a car to move around with his family, to take the children to school, and Daniel agreed to give him a small car temporarily. For a while, that small car helped James manage life again. He used it to move around the city, take the children to school, and handle small responsibilities. But one afternoon, everything changed again. James was stopped by the police. The papers of the car were incomplete. And suddenly, James found himself inside another problem connected to Daniel. But Daniel kept repeating the same stories. Business has been bad. He was running at a loss. He did not even know what to do anymore.
the police drove away with the car. And suddenly, James was left standing on the roadside with his family. In the end, James had no choice. He found a keke and took his family back home quietly. When James got home, he immediately called Daniel and explained everything that happened with the police. Daniel sounded sympathetic. He apologized. He told James not to worry and promised they would sort everything out the next day. The next morning, James followed Daniel to the police station to retrieve the car. But instead of solving the problem, James found himself inside another one. The police said the vehicle papers were incomplete, and James was not carrying his driver's license. After much begging, James was finally released. After leaving the station, Daniel collected the car. He said the owner wanted it back, and they planned to sell it. That night, James finally broke down emotionally. He asked Daniel how he expected him to survive, how he expected him to take care of his family, how he expected him to continue living like this. As the months passed, things became worse. And slowly, rent deadline arrived. Every single day, James called Daniel and begged him. He reminded him about the rent.
He reminded him about his children and begged him to please send him money. Daniel always said the same thing. Calm down. Don't worry. I'll send him money. But the money never came. Then finally, the day came. The landlord threw James and his family outside under the rain. James kept calling Daniel again and again and again. But the call stopped going through. He sent voice notes begging Daniel, telling him the landlord had thrown them outside, telling him his children were under the rain, telling him they had nowhere to go. In the end, James managed to find one small room for his family. It was not comfort. It was survival. James finally found a small place for his family. It was tiny, uncomfortable, but at least they had somewhere to sleep. Most nights, James could not sleep. He would sit quietly in darkness. The children stopped going to school. James simply could not afford it anymore. Every morning, James left the house with only one thought in his mind. How would his family eat today?
James started working as a bus conductor. James met one of Daniel's old friends. And that was when he heard the truth. Daniel had been arrested. He collected people's cars and never gave them their money. He had done the same thing to many others. James broke down completely. He looked at the sky and asked, "What did I do to deserve this?" We treated Daniel like family, like a brother. So why would he do this to us? After 2 years, one day, while walking tiredly through the streets, James suddenly heard someone call his name. It was Mr. Joe. He looked shocked. "James, what happened to you?" For the first time in a long while, James told someone everything, and he could no longer hold back the tears. With help from Mr. Joe, James slowly stood up again. He started a small business, and gradually, life began to improve. Then one evening, James' phone rang. James answered the call. "Hello? Who is this?" Then the voice replied, "James, it's Daniel.